It makes you wonder, things are out there that are strange and totally unaccounted, for. And getting now back to you in this book, what made you decide to write this book?
Well, yeah, when my friend pointed that out to me, I thought, oh, wow, I just got a great idea for a movie. So it's like, I don't know anything about writing a movie, so I figured, well, if I write a book, I figure a lot of movies get made from books, so I wrote the book. And then so I did. I thought, well, I was going to just get someone to write the screenplay, but I thought, if there's a sequel to it and all, and I'm really the one that knows it the best, I should probably write the screenplay. So I started reading screenplays and reading books on how to write screenplays, and I just actually finished that. It's at the editor's right now, and I've even went down to went to the Hollywood Pitch Festival down in L.A. last year and pitched it as a book, and I've got some people that want to read it when it's ready, so that's exciting. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than somebody that wants to read it. I mean, that's not going to mean they're going to like it, but just getting somebody to read it is the first step. So hopefully any day now I'll be getting it back, and then I can go from there. But that's, just my buddy pointing that Genesis 6:4 out to me. That's what got me started.
Oh, yeah.
So, and, the sequel, there's some people that don't like the end. Most people really like the book. I mean, I've had people read it. It's kind of disheartening when someone says, yeah, I read it in 2 days, and it's like, wow, it took me 4 years to write it. But I guess that's better than saying, oh, it put me to sleep. But, yeah, so and the sequel, I'm plugging away on that now. Now that I've got the screenplay done, I can work on that, and and then that's that's probably going to be there'll be the book number 2, and that'll probably be it. But yeah, it was just so much fun to write, just because of all the stuff that I researching, all the stuff that you come across. It's like, wow. It's like, can this really be true?
Yeah,
it's like, I think maybe.
It could be. That's the scary part. It could be. By the way, one of my listeners was a assistant director. You remember the old TV show Miami Vice? And he's done a whole bunch of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he listens to my show, and then I have a actor who I just interviewed a few days ago that writes movies, screenplay plays. He's appeared in 20 movies, horror type of movies, that listens to my show. So, maybe they should take a look at your book, and, maybe there's some ideas there. But
sure.
Where's your book available at?
Well, of course, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, pretty much all the internet outlets. You can go to proofthenovel.com, and you can get to all those sites from there. You can order like an autographed copy through there as well. Now, the website, I've changed the cover since the first one came out, so the website doesn't reflect the new cover. The first cover was, I really liked it. I mean, it had a picture of the open Bible. It had a picture of the Bible's open, and there's this something tearing its way out of the middle. And so a lot of people thought that was demonic, and it's really not. And as soon as someone reads the book, then they're like, oh, yeah, now it makes sense. At first, but, so I got to get a first impression. I mean, it gets people's attention. It did do that, but it also scared some away. I went down to Miami to the book fair, and and that's, again, it's not religious. I mean, just because it is about, it stems from Genesis 6:4, but it's not religious. I can't stress that enough, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, I don't want to read anything about religion. But it's more, it's not. It's, there's a little in there, but I had somebody at the book fair down there who is a daughter, a mother and her son, and the son's like, oh, look at this, I want to get this, and his mother said, no, it's got a Bible on it. Nope. She just so I just want to stress that it's not, but it's proofthenovel.com. There's a little more about it there. There's some links from there, but or Amazon, but the full title is Proof the Novel, and I hope I hope everybody will enjoy it. I know I had a great time writing it. It was, and I'm still having fun with it. But I sure appreciate everything you've done here.
How many pages is it?
It's like 340, 338, I think, on in the print version. E-books are different depending on which reader you're using.
So it's a couple day read.
It's about a Da Vinci Code style size book, something like that.
Well, what's your I mean, you wrote the book, but do you feel giants existed, and do you feel like there's a chance that they could be some giants still left somewhere?
I totally think that's very possible. I mean, I really do. I mean, there's all this evidence. For me, it's circumstantial evidence because it's just stuff I'm reading about. It's nothing that I'm actually seeing firsthand yet. But you get enough circumstantial evidence, and it does. I mean, everything can't be a lie. Everything can't be a hoax. I know there are some, but I mean, I just put I put hours of research into this thing, and I really think there has to be something to it. There just has to be.
Well, yeah.
Either that or.
But you take like the Indian tribes, okay? It just isn't one Indian tribes that talk about giants and the red hair. I mean, they talk. I mean, from what I read too, and because my memory's coming back as more we talk, I remember, the one where they were talking about the giants would come in and grab their women, and that would be the end of the women seeing them. And they described them, again, as giants, being tall, red hair, and then you go into, like, Afghanistan, or you go into South America, and you hear the same things. But the thing is, these stories all are long before the internet, and they're handed down. I mean, like right now, you can create a phony story right now. It'll circulate, and I'm sure a lot of people will think it's true. But the thing is, this was all before the computer and all this stuff, So it kind of, if you have one Indian tribe here and a couple thousand miles away in, like, British Columbia, you got an Indian tribe talking about the same thing about, not Bigfoot, but like giants with red hair, again, where they would come down and attack them and, carry off their squaws. It makes you wonder. I mean, you're talking great distances away. And why would they have the same stories? And then you go to South America.
That's a big coincidence.
Yeah, and then you go into South America or the Himalayas. You hear the same type of stories, these giant creatures that resembled men, that were tall, again, red hair, and basically the same thing. They seem to like, our women, and they take them, and then, they really developed a taste for human flesh. And might not even been for starvation. It could be, a scare tactic, like, hey, they attack, the humans, and they, make a point showing the humans that we eat you. A scare tactic, too.
It could have been. Or maybe human was a delicacy. Maybe not.
I don't know. I read things where some sick people said that human flesh tastes really good. So I don't know.
Not like chicken?
No, I don't know. I guess there was a case where an airliner went down, and I think that was up in the Himalayas, and they were, they were starting, they even made a movie about it,
Yeah, I remember that. That was that soccer team.
Yeah, and that's true. And they were only a few miles away from a resort or whatever. They didn't realize it, but they were, actually eating their dead, and then they would, at one point, they were people, even before they were dying, they were eating them. So, I mean, cannibalism, it's called survival. The same thing when people have been out in rafts, out in the sea where they were shot down, and there was a bunch of people from a shipwreck on, they, kind of ate the dead.
Oh, yeah.
So,
the Donner Party coming over...
into Oregon.
Yeah. I just pray to God I never have to be faced with a situation like that. But I mean, my heart goes out to those people because everyone looked at them like they're some kind of crazy lunatic when they come back. It's like, well, I mean, it wasn't their first choice. I mean, it was the last resort.
Yeah, but it comes down to the same thing, again, giants, again, if they were trying to make a point or they were starving, I guess,
Yeah.
And then, like, off the subject here, but like aliens and stuff like that. Somebody's claiming that wants to be on the show that there's one species of aliens that the government's supposed to know about, and have a treaty with them supposedly. They abduct humans and to eat. So I mean, it's you have to also,
really?
but you have to look at things, okay? If somebody is smart enough, right, to come down to Earth, right, from another solar system, and can time travel because they would have to get here.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we would be no more than an ant to them. Just think about that. I mean, everybody here thinks we're so intelligent, right? So we eat chickens, right? We eat cows, we eat horses, we, eat dog, we eat cats, we eat everything. An alien species might look at us as, food.
Caviar, no?
Yeah, well, that too. So, I mean, only on my show can we just talk about giants and everything else. But, I mean, it just makes you wonder, that there is strange things out there. So,
there is.
My feeling, okay, like I said, after I ran into Bigfoot, my eyes are open. That's why I do a paranormal show. I do, just like you did research on giants. I'm sure you done and know way more than I do, but I have done enough reading through the years on giants, and I do feel they did exist. And I think somewhere on this earth, there's still a species of giants somewhere that one day will probably be discovered.
I agree.
Or they have been discovered, and we don't know about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then, of course, the whole the Hollow Earth theory. That maybe that's where they are, or I've heard that. And you said you've heard that other dimension thing too with the Bigfoot, and so I haven't heard a whole lot on that, but I don't know dimensions. When you start talking about time travel. Anything's possible, really.
I don't know. I couldn't say Bigfoot, come through time warps or anything like this. I have no idea. All I know is I saw one, and unless it's like I said, I saw one, and my friend saw one, and and I'm a big guy. I was in the military. And it takes a lot to scare me, and I don't run and pee my pants for no reason at all. And I mean, I was never that scared, and nothing has ever scared me the rest since then like that has scared me. Okay,
that's pretty up close and personal too.
Well, when we first saw it, we were probably about maybe 1,000 feet or 1,500 feet away, and that I don't know. I just know that it was no bear. So, I mean, unless bear has long arms and long legs and it can outrun me, I mean, and scream like that.
It changes everything when you actually see it yourself. It changes everything.
Oh, yeah. And, like I said, I won't go camping. You couldn't get me in the forest now, unless I had a couple M16s and like 30 guys with me with M16s. You couldn't get me back in the forest. I'm sorry, You go camping yourself. You live in Montana. I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, I actually had it wasn't not quite as fun as that, but we got a friend of mine. We got chased by a grizzly bear, and I was pretty scared. We were on horses. Thank God the horses didn't even know the bears were there. But my legs were shaking. I mean, I've never, the only other time my legs shook from being so scared was when I was flying skydivers at one time, and I was descending, and I got a traffic call. There was traffic at usually they give you a clock, like 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever. And thank God they gave me because I would descend in a circle, and they gave me a direction. He said it was west. I looked, and there's an F-16 because this was right next to Edwards Air Force Base, so they're always out there practicing close by. And there's this F-16 that was like literally, I don't know, man, it's probably 25 feet away. And had he not called and told me that direction, I pulled up and everything was good. But yeah, my legs shook that time, and when that grizzly bear chased me, my legs were shaking. But if it was a Bigfoot in your situation, my legs would have been shaking too.
Yeah, well, even talking about it, I still get nervous because it just makes me know that there is things out there. Okay, and again, unless you've seen it, you can sit there and go, that's a good story. You're a crackpot. I don't care.